Hey guys, welcome to Bar Z. My name's Stan, and welcome to part 3 of Bar Z Bay. We're over at my friend Rick Heronime's house, and we're going to go through the last of the stuff. There's not that much left, but I did want to remind you that we have not received a single bid on this Hardinge, which I find pretty amazing. I don't know, if none of you guys bid on it, I might scrape up the money for it. This thing is just an incredible machine. And the amount of tooling and everything that went with it. When it came to Rick and this machine, nothing was too good for it. Rick always bought the absolute best for this machine. So every accessory you see on here was top notch. But we've got some other stuff to get through. So, you know, we got some granite. We found another whole drawer full of gauge pins and gauge blocks. We still haven't gone through all his end mills and drills. We've got a lot of other stuff to get through. So let's get to it. Okay, first up on this lot is lot number 66. This is a Standridge comparator stand. Now, anybody that watches my videos knows this is the same unit I use. This has got a really nice Teflon bushing set up in here, so it's very low friction to actually clamp on the column. It's got double parallel flexures, so your gauge movement is straight up and straight down. It accepts a 3/8 drop indicator and a 3/8 drop indicator only. You cannot put a test indicator on it. And this thing was calibrated due in 2017, so it's out of cal, very lightly used. You get a nice little rubber protector pad to keep your plate clean. And if you price these things on the internet, they're for a genuine Standridge. They're super expensive, so $225. After you use this type of head on a comparator stand, you'll never go back to the other ones. Just a really good unit, and I've been super pleased with mine. Anyways, lot number 66, 225 or better, get your bid in. Next up is a knurling tool, and we're only asking $100 for this. You're saying, wow, what's so special about a knurling tool? This is a scissor type, but I want you to notice all the rolls. There's a knurling tool with 7 sets of wheels. We've got straight cut, coarse, fine, diamond, some extra axles, and it's a nicely made knurling tool. This was bought from KBC Tools. It's still in the KBC box. Very nice unit. So if you want to get into some scissor knurling, we put that all by itself. Your opening on this is $100. Next up, we've got, this is lot number 68. Actually, there's a story behind this plate. This plate used to belong to me. Let's see. It's a double ledge, fine grain, black granite plate. I bought this from Inco when Inco was still around, but it's a very fine grain granite. I don't have the size on here. I think this was a 18 by 24 double ledge. So you got 2 clamping ledges. If you've got parts that need to come in, if you got an angle block coming in here, this is a handy place to come in and grab it with a clamp. So ledge plates are always handy. So you can have a vertical surface. I mean, it doubles your capacity. As soon as you go from a horizontal surface to a vertical surface, known to be accurate, you just doubled your capacity on your plate. So
I think it's
ledges
12 by 18.
Okay.
There's a tape over there.
Yeah, okay. I thought you guys wrote it down.
Yeah, I thought so too. Sorry.
Yeah, it's 12 by 18, 2 ledge. And like I said, 68, lot number 68, $65 for this plate. It is out of calibration, and but it's been well cared for, and Rick kept it covered up, but he always sketched on it with a silver Sharpie to make drawings. So you get some of Rick's last drawings, which I wasn't going to erase. All right, so that's that plate. Number 69 is over here. And that is just, let me move these. So this is lot number 69. This is a genuine Standridge plate. Lot 69, asking $125. Let me measure this one. That's an 18 by, I believe, 30? No, 18 by 24. Double ledge. Due for calibration in 2017. This was bought the same time that the comparator stand was bought. Protective rubber mat. This is the granite from North County, San Diego that Standards uses. Nice plate, $125. So that's a nice piece, and we can probably get that over to the Bash with a little bit of help. But we could get that over to the Bash, so you could take delivery on that over there. So if you need a little benchtop plate, a lot of times you need an auxiliary one around the shop just for doing some measuring or setting up, you know, close to a machine. Maybe it's handy to have more than one around the shop. All right, so that's lot number 69. Let's move back over here. 70. Okay, you rolling?
Yeah.
Okay. Lot number 70, we found another drawer full of micrometers. I know we already did micrometers last week, but here we are doing it again. And Dennis found this. This one is really super cool. You look at this mic, and you go, oh, okay, it's a 6 to 7. Boy, that thing looks like it's really heavy. Is that solid? It's not. This is tubular. This is from the Sheer Tomiko. So this is from the Tubular Mic Company, and this thing is light as a feather. You know, you would think this is either aluminum, which would be stupid to make a micrometer out of, but it's a tubular mic, and this is all hollow, and it's amazingly light. So I've never seen one before. I've never held one before. Pretty neat. That's in this kit. 6 to 7. We got a 5 to 6. This is a, what is that one? Brown and Sharp. We've got a 3 to 4. Brown and Sharp. Tense indicating. Slant line.
That's a convertible thimble also.
Convertible to what?
I'll explain to you later.
Okay, thanks. We've got an LS Starrett. Looks like a 1 to 2. It's not tense reading. It's a classic Starrett. We got a Brown and Sharp, very nicely cared for, actually. Tense indicating. Is this a slant line? No, this is a straight line. Brown and Sharp, 0 to 1. We got an anteater that'll get in on something deep there, 0 to 1. And then we've got a phase 2 import. What is this one? 4 to 5. So we go, yeah, we covered all the bases. There they are right there.
Up to 7.
We got them up, this is a whole micrometer set all the way up to 7 inch. We've got some standards here. Some are still in the bag. There's a 4 inch, 5 inch, 3 inch, 2 inch. We've got some standards there. And do we know what's in here? Oh, these are micrometer wrenches. So we've got micrometer wrenches in here to adjust all the barrels on all these. Lot number 70, micrometer kit with standards, $100. Get your bid in. Next up we got some gauge blocks, and we kind of put these in as a kind of a package here. It's a set of square gauge block kits. We found another set. This one's complete in all respects. Takes you from 100 thousandths all the way up to 4 inch.
81.
It's a grade B. So good little kit. It's an import, but they were in under calibration. There's an old calibration certificate. They're out of cert, and also a set of the round gauge blocks. If you don't know what these are, these actually have threaded holes and they screw together, so you can make a gauge block stack out of all that. We have, let's see, these are not going with the set. These do. And these are actually super cool. These are by Brown and Sharp, and you see they're split right on the radius. These are actual gauge blocks, and what you would do with these in combination with these, that is a known radius right there and there. You put a gauge stack in between, and you would use that to measure a bore or something round, but that is a 250 thousandths radius. So if I actually take these and slam them together, that right there is a 1/2 inch. But as soon as I put gauge blocks in between them, now we just created a gauge to check bores in like the lathe or whatever. We have this is a 1 inch OD standard. So
Pratt & Whitney.
It's a Pratt & Whitney, yep. This is a
200,000.
200 thousandths gauge ring, ID measuring. We just threw it in there, and then there's a loose gauge pin. We're gonna put that with the gauge pins. But okay, so all this, and all this, $125 for both gauge blocks, stacks, and everything you see there. These are just dowels. These are just hardened ground dowels. We threw them in there just for whatever. All right. Is this with this?
Yes.
Okay.
That's with that.
Now this is an interesting little sign bar. I was actually playing with this. It's magnetic, which is interesting. I don't know the roll-to-roll distance. The rolls are unequal, and someone's done the math at some point when they made the tool. And this, here, click in there, so that's magnetic. As long as you're using steel gauge blocks, your gauge blocks are gonna stick on there and not fall off and come down on your sign roll. And then you lock here, and that whole thing is locked together as one. And then the base is magnetic. It also has a V-groove. So you stick it down on whatever you're working on. You could even stick it on your the side of your compound and stick it on that. Is that aluminum? Yeah, there's steel. So you could stick it on the side of your compound and sweep the top of that bar with an indicator and get your compound set at a specific angle. So kind of a cool little sign bar, and no brand name on it. It was in a box. There it is. And it says Younger Tool Corporation, Anaheim, California, 2.5-inch sign bar. It's an M250. So pretty neat. I cannot attest to its accuracy, but the cool factor is definitely there, and I did find out how to lock it. It comes with this little Allen wrench, and that locks it shut, or locks it down tight. Neat little sign bar. Alright, so that's going to go with both sets of gauge blocks and all these miscellaneous gauges in the back and the sign bar. 125, lot 71. Let's move on. Alright, lot 72, gauge pin set. We're going from 11 thousandths, this little tiny piece of wire. I don't even want to pull it out of there, I'll lose it. So we go from 11 thousandths up to 060 on the small set. We go to 061 to 250 on the intermediate set. And we go from 251 to 0.500 on the big set. So we got 3 sets of pin gauges. There is a miscellaneous pin gauge in here that measures 0.805. Don't know why, but there it is. And we found another set of thread wires. So there's a set of PD thread wire gauges right there, and the chart for checking all threads, metric and US threads at a 60-degree angle. All right, so thread wires and pin gauges. Lot number 72, $100, and we're just calling it a gauge pin set. Next up, 73 is where, oh, angle block. Next up is lot number 73 for $150. It's a Standridge angle block. Calibration due 2017, same as all his other Standridge components. So nice angle block, 6x6. And like I said before, this will double the capability of your surface plate, giving you a vertical reference surface. And if you've got ledges, you've got a place to bring this over, clamp it down, and create a permanent vertical surface. It also comes with an ox tool. If you remember back, Tom had these little mini ones made, and Rick has glued in a lapped piece of steel on the bottom. And the reason for that is this will slide around all day long on a magnetic plate, turned on or off, doesn't care. And you stick a Noga down here or something, or a little surface gauge, you can measure from here over to your work as your magnet's turned on. So that's a handy little plate. I mean, they were cute and they were fun to have, and everyone wanted the little mini plates, but they actually have a purpose. But $150 for both of those. Very nice units. So that's lot number 73, $150. Oh, next up, lot number 74. We've got a cast iron surface plate. This is, we measured this, it's 9 by 9, actually a little bit over. It's got a 3-point mount on the bottom. It's not webbed, but it's still a nice heavy little plate. It's good for, it's a good little working surface. You need a flat working surface. I would say it probably needs to be scraped in, or at least surface ground. There's signs of scraping on it that someone has done, but she's been used an awful lot, so it could use a rescrape. We're only asking $50. If you want a scraping project or a grinding project, lot number 74, $50, cast iron plate. Oh, next up, 75. These are quick change bushings. These are actually all hardened drill bushings, but they're the quick change type. I don't know if I can do it with my gloves on. But these are going to slide into here and lock in. That slides right down into there, and that locks in with a quarter turn. And then this is a tooling plate that you're going to bolt in with a spacer block or something, let your work slide in under it and repeat under there. And this is going to, you can drill holes repeatedly in multiple things, but that's an entire set of drill bushings. And then the master bushings are here and here, so there's 2 different sizes. And here's the little ones here. And those are going to slide in as, see that one's tight, there it is. And they see they just kind of quarter turn over. And that is for a letter size drill number R. Alright, so that's a drill bushing kit with a bar that will bolt into a T-slot on a spacer block or whatever. You let your work come sliding in under it. $25, lot number 75, and we're calling it a quick change drill bushing kit. 76. Oh, transfer punches. Okay. Over here we got kind of a transfer set. We call it a transfer punch set. We've got the standards in imperial size and metric size, so there's 2 different ones there. In addition to that, we've got some toolmakers buttons. There's a set of toolmakers buttons there, the offset type. We've got some transfer type, this one's spring loaded right here. So that'll fit in almost any size hole, up, you know, a big one, and still develop a center point. And we've got the transfer buttons. That is an M6 by 1, it says China, so that's an import. Here's color case hardened. That's the Hyman Manufacturing Company in Urbia, Ohio. Quarter 20 set, hex wrench there, and then the buttons actually get stored in the handle. So you got quarter 20. What's this one? You got an M8 by 125. You got a big one here, 5/8 11. There's just the buttons by themselves. That's what the little buttons look like in there. That's an M5 by 0.8. Got a bunch of the metric ones, M3 by 0.5. So these things get pretty tiny. M4 by 0.7. There's a M6 by 1.0. There's the little buttons in there with a dimple point on them. And there's actually a wrench for all those right there to get them in. And so that's all transfer punches there. These are the expanding transfer punches. I don't know if you can you zoom in on the tip of that? I'm going to go ahead and expand it. And you see how that opens up? This works just like a ball gauge for measuring, you know, holes and stuff. But this will open up in your hole that you're transferring, and then that center punch there floats, and just give that dude a smack down in the back and create a center mark. So the expanding transfer punches, the mandrel type, are actually pretty neat. He's got a kit of those. It is missing the middle one. All right, so we got the tiny one and the big one. We couldn't find the intermediate one. But this is a whole kit. Not asking a lot of money. $75 for all the transfer punches. Lot number 76.
Did you mention metric and imperial?
I did.
Okay.
Drill and mill bit kit slitting. Oh, all this shit. All right.
Pull the top around.
Oh, well, I'll get there. Let me get done with this one. What the hell is that?
He might have just put that in there so it
So
stays in
so it wouldn't fall over?
yeah, it stays in a slot.
Are you rolling?
Yeah.
All right, next up, we got a smoking deal. Come on down. We got a herd of Winnebagos. We're giving them away. Lot number 77. $200. All we're doing is calling this a mill and drill kit. We've got carbide, we got roughing end mills, we got fine finish end mills, we got 2-flute, we got 4-flute, we got corn cobs, we got annular cutters. I'm not making this shit up. Anyways, this is all brand new carbide. We got some big corn cob roughers. That's all his little carbide. He's got some intermediate roughers, still in good shape. That thing looks like it might be a resharpen, but it's fresh. We got some 2 flutes over here on the side. And like I said, annular cutters. That thing doesn't look like it's ever been used. Some smaller end mills here. So he's got quite a nice assortment of end mills. You'll have to go through them, sharpen them, do whatever you want with them. So we get this drawer, plus you get this drawer. You get fly cutters, 1, 2, 3, 4. You got 5 different sizes. Look at that little cutie. Tiny little fly cutter. So you get 5 fly cutters of various sizes. You get a slitting saw arbor. That's a nice arbor for a slitting saw. Weld and shank. He's got some gear cutters and some slitting saws in here. You get that whole stack of them. You got some other slitting saws here. Some other miscellaneous arbors. Key seaters. Countersinks. Here's an adjustable depth countersink right there. The aircraft type, self-piloting. You get all that. But wait, there's more. You can come over here. You get this entire drawer. Silver and dimming. A few miscellaneous. You've got center drills in here. Center drills in here. Acme gauge. 60-degree thread gauge. Thickness gauge. A box of fun back there. A bunch of stuff there. Here we got letters, numbers, and fractionals. That's the big index right there in a Hewitt case. Pretty much complete. You know, some of the drill bits are used. Some may need replacement. Some may need to be resharpened. This was originally a drill hog kit, but that's a pretty nice set right there. I know this alone, retail price, is about what we're asking for all this stuff. So, nice set there. Letters, numbers, fractionals. Everything in this drawer and everything in those 2 other drawers I showed you. Lot 77, $200. All the scrap. All right, shut that off. It's time to open that drawer. Okay, next up is just a lot of material. And when I say a lot, it's our regular lot, number 78, but it's also kind of a lot. And, you know, we're only asking $200 for this lot of material. It's got some big blocks of aluminum. I mean, look at the cross section of that thing. That's not a hollow shape. That's a solid chunk. So tooling plates, soft jaws, whatever you guys want to make. Got some nice pieces there. A lot of 60-61, a lot of 43-40. We got some cold roll. That's cold rolled steel. He was pretty good about identifying it. We've got some miscellaneous phenolic. Once you use that, you can hate it too. Back in the back, we've got looks like a bunch of Delrin. Yeah, that's Delrin. We got some CPVC solids. I think that is Teflon. Oh, I know exactly what that is. You got that from me. That is actually Delrin. I know exactly what that is. That is Delrin. I don't think you got any of the Teflon. Yeah, that was a base block. That was that came out of my junk pile because I killed that part. That was Delrin. There's the other half of that base block. That was Delrin. So there's some nice chunks back there. I don't think you got any of the Teflon, but there's some good plastic. There's some good flat bar. There's probably some cold roll or some Some of this stuff's unknown, you guys.
That
But
might be, if that's orange.
no, it didn't line up. That's not stainless.
Okay.
But he's got some nice pieces here. He's got some nice pieces of aluminum over here. He's got some flat bar, some square bar, some round bar. Some of it 6061, some of it the 7000 series. So some of this is weldable, some of this is not weldable. And like that dude, we got no idea what it is. That data code doesn't give us enough info. But some of these are marked clearly 6061. All right, that's a 7075 block there. So this will machine really nice. This is very hard, very durable, but you can never ever weld it. Don't even try. All right, so that is one lot of stock. Lot 78, $200. Okay. Okay, next up we got lot number 79. We're only asking $50. These are all lathe tool holders and high-speed steel, some boring bars. But there's some nice tool holders there. That takes a triangular insert. It takes a square insert. I don't remember the part number on those, but that's the diamond-shaped insert. The big score is going to be a solid rock 3/8 boring bar from Steve Barton over at Solid Rock Machine. And it's a two-sided. He's got an insert in this end. The other end's just got a cap on it, and that's never had an insert put in it ever. So you've always got a spare end of that boring bar that you can use. So you do get a solid rock boring bar as well as all those boring bars. There's some smaller high-speed steel right here for you to play with. There's some brazed carbide for you to play with. There's some inserted carbide there. We've included some actual carbide inserts. Triangular, diamond. There's some CNM&Gs down there, some round ones, some hexagonal ones. Some of these are for the little mini boring bars in there. So that's all the lathe carbide we could find. And there was these are all high-speed steel blanks. I saw Steve Summers the other day with a big piece of high-speed steel. There's a big monster there. There's another one there. That's a Chicago Latrobe. Big chunk of high-speed. So that one there is inserted carbide, but still, or brazed carbide. That's never been used. So any of you guys have the big stuff. There's a ridiculously long Latrobe 5/16. I don't know who would trust that to stick out that far, but there you go. All right, so there's some big high-speed steel, some smaller high-speed steel, and all the lathe cutters. $50, lot 79, and we just called it lathe cutting tools. Get your bid in. Okay, this is lot number 80. We're asking $300 for this. This is a rotary index table. Now, this box over here, we've got all the hardware and hold-down hardware for the T-slots on this, but there's also a 3-jaw chuck that comes with it. So it's just a flat pallet rotary table. Rick has made an adapter to adapt it over to a 3-jaw chuck, and it's got inside and outside jaws. It can go on your milling machine horizontally or vertically. It can mount either way. He's got all the mounting hardware and kits and everything back here, all the hold-down stuff. So everything you need to get this on a Bridgeport is here, and that's a great price. Lot number 80, $300. Rotary table, chuck, with jaws and hardware.
Yep.
Next up is a quickie. It's real super easy. It's lot number 81, $15. It's a steel shim assortment. This is Precision brand, so you know it's good stuff. We have a variety from 1,000th all the way up to 15,000ths. And I'm not going to say it's complete in all respects, but there's an awful lot in there. And all this other shim stock was in here, in addition to the rest of the stuff from Precision brand. So all this shim stock for the shop was in this box. So pretty nice kit. We're only asking $15, lot number 81. Alright, let's take care of that. Jacobs. Oh, we're almost done. Next up, lot number 82. We're asking $20, and we're just calling these drill chucks. There's two Jacobs in here. These are both taper backs. These are the Jacobs number 6As. So we got two Jacobs 6As with a tapered back. We've got a no name with a tapered back. It looks like a tapered back. Yeah, it's not a one piece. So we've got a no name with a tapered back. We've got another no name with a tapered back.
That's half inch, I think.
That'll get you out to half inch. We do have a drill chuck adapter. It's Morse taper 3 to 33 Jacobs taper. So this taper will fit either one of these chucks. And we've got some
It'll fit all four of them.
chuck forks. That taper will fit all four chucks,
33 JTs.
and that'll adapt you out to Morse taper 3. So then we've got some chuck forks, number 2 and number 3, so you can help you get them apart. All right. So that takes care of the chuck. Next up, we got lot number 83. We're asking $40. This is a home-built tool that Rick actually made. It looks like about a 6x6 mini pallet, and he staggered all the holes. He's got pin holes in these and threaded holes in the other ones. So you've got blind holes there, so your pins actually don't fall all the way through the plate, which is kind of nice. In the center they do. Out on the perimeter they do not, so you can use the outer perimeter as a fence or a stop or something. So it's got dowel pins there, and the rest take threaded holes here. And he's got it, this will actually go flat in the vise, or you can clamp it in between the jaws and tip it in an angle. So he's got kind of a sign set up there, so you do angled work right out of your Kurt vise. So nice little pallet. He made his own hold downs. Looks like he hardened them. He was always doing something with some one tool steel after he got the oven, so he's got some hardened hold down hardware there. All the bolts, Allen wrench, a bunch of pins, so, and a nice little box. That's called pallet hardware. So the whole kit is lot number 83 for $40. That's a great little setup. Okay guys, well that's the end of auction number 3 for Bars eBay. That's the end of the auction in its entirety. That's everything the family wants to sell. I'd like to thank everyone for their emails to the family that actually bid. If you're interested in any of this stuff, send an email to the HERONIMEFAMILY at gmail.com. There's more instructions below on the dates and the closing times and the rules and how to pay and how to pick up and everything about it. If something catches your eye, throw an email in there and talk to them about the money. If you've got a machinery question or something you want me to look up for you, throw me an email, barzyindustrial.com. I can always be found there. You can fill out a contact form there, or barzyindustrial at msn.com is a general dump email box, so I'm a real easy guy to get a hold of. But thanks again for all your support, and the family thanks you for their support. We'll see you on the next one.